This is Beyond the Big Screen podcast with your host, Steve Guerra.
Here is another Beyond the Big Screen teaser for episodes coming soon. I hope you enjoy and definitely tune in for future episodes. If you want to learn more, you can head over to beyondthebigscreen.com. You can also send me an email to steve@a2zhistorypage.com or follow us on social media by searching for A2Z History. I will see you next time beyond the big screen.
Where do you live? Or what's your father's name?
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
And then he kind of snapped out of it. He's like, oh, never mind. Yeah. Very powerful scene. Exactly right. There was another one, where they're all having lunch and they're in some sort of cafeteria and four of them are joking.
A junior officer tells the joke.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's one of them. Yes, I wrote it down. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so he says, so the guy wakes up and he goes, "Good morning, dear son." And the son goes, "Oh, good morning, comrade." And he goes, "Good morning," good morning, or "Good day, son." And he goes, and in German you could say all kinds of, good before noon, good afternoon, good evening. Like Germans are very precise with their greetings. So, it's like guten Vormittag, good before noon. And the son goes, "Oh, good forenoon, comrade." And he says, "Oh, good, good, happy noon, son." And the son says, "Oh," and then later in the day, he says, "Oh, good evening, son." And he's like, "Screw you, I'm in the West now." That was, and the guy, without even missing a beat, he's like, Name, Dienstgrad, Abteilung, like name, rank, and department, or something like that. And I was just like, whoa. And that you could hear a pin drop, because suddenly you realize, like, oh, shoot. We're all kind of having fun, but you can't trust everybody. Somebody's gonna... And then the guy turns around and is like, "Oh, did you hear the one about Honecker?" And, whew, yeah. So, and then he's laughing, and everybody kind of has this nervous laugh now. But, oh, yeah, I mean... It's a horrible, it's a traumatic, it's a depressing thing to understand what happened after Nazi Germany and what happened after the fall of the Iron Curtain. Is when you start to understand the generation gap, the difference between father and son, you start to hear these heart-wrenching stories, or these like traumatic, like these broken family stories, because World War II was far, far worse. Let me put it that way. Like, that's for sure. And, what do you do when you realize, when it dawns on you that your father was in the SS, or that your father was in the, heaven forbid, like one of the, like on the front, like one of the Einsatzgruppen, chasing down Jews in Ukraine or something. Like, what do you do when you realize that that's who your father was, and you yourself are like, totally the other side of the spectrum, like totally enlightened, Nazis are evil and all this. But how do you deal with that? And then how do you deal with that if your father is not apologetic? How do you deal with that if your father's not repentant? What do you do if your father swallowed the propaganda? And I've seen with my own two eyes. I'm a first person account. I've seen this happen in Germany with Nazi propaganda, where I've had people tell me of course we attacked Poland because they were shooting at us first, and we just, defended our borders. And I was like, yeah, no, that was the radio transmission in 1939, but that's not actually what happened. Like, is that really what you think? And this was told to me in 2010 or something. And it's like, whoa, that's, and his brother was in the SS, but his brother was shot in the war. So he had a picture of an SS guy hanging in his living room.